Welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to start doing single cards from this deck, and it's called Living with a Feathered Heart. And I'm only going to be pulling one and then going through the reading of it and just, I don't know, just going through the energy of just the singular card and see what comes out through inspiration, intuition, my own personal experiences, etc. And the reason why I'm starting this video is this deck is called Living with a Feathered Heart, and it's the 42 Ideals of Ma'at in Daily Life, and it's by Jennifer Sodini. I hope I'm saying that right. And I love birds. I have my baby cockatiel here, and I had started this channel. I had this baby bird bass, and I always sang all about the bass. It was always all about the bass. And you know, something happened where she passed away, and it was really unfortunate, where she did get sick and I had to bring her to a vet. And the sad part of it was she died. Even if I really feel like she could have been saved. And at the time I was getting all this intuition and I was questioning myself, right? And I was just like, no, go within. And there's all this norm, right? Okay, this is the professionals. They wouldn't, do anything, disrespectful. They are the people we admire in the world. They are being the people we admire in the world, especially a veterinarian of all the people in the world. And then veterinary technicians. Well, today, in fact, my intuition, my gut, and just things that came into my knowing pretty much immediately, because I was in an emotional place. I questioned myself. I was like, no, I seriously was like, no, take a step back from your emotions and don't even attach to your feelings. Like, don't be a baby kind of a situation. And today, finding out that I was right, and through somebody basically trying to defend themselves through adding more lies on top of lies. And it was like, in the moment, I even took a step back and was able to just perceive the situation from just this heightened space. And this place is Animal Ark, here where I live in New York. And this is just one experience recently where it's just like a veterinarian. I came in and it's the professionals, these people I'm admiring. I'm giving them my whole heart. And then, my bird, I was given this false hope that she was going to be okay. And 2 seconds after I walked in the door, she was gone, and I was forced to change. My whole world, was first given a false perception. And so often through this wholehearted attachment, the lesson is it's like what you're not perceiving, and also maybe I don't know, listening to yourself and not your ego too, in certain situations where there was time in the moment I thought to myself, I shouldn't be calling these people so much. I'm going to annoy them. And then they're going to do something. And I was like, no, they understand. You know, they understand that I care about her. I want to know, and that I'm just questioning her care because that's what you're supposed to do. And I had this ego surrounding what they understood as far as love when it came to my bond with my bird, and that their perception of me wasn't there, basically, of me and her. It was them and their worlds, because at the end of the day, they do this every day. You know, they don't want to hear, you know, questioning of their choices. And if they do, at times, you know, ego of, you know, well, you want to question me, well, then I guess you're the boss, you know everything. And then to put blame on me and to write down something that said I made a decision just when I was asking questions. Like, it was like, and then they, I don't know, but I don't mean to take away from this reading, but this is, I have a video where I even started this channel where it was like, this is my own little world. So without further ado, though, we're going to pull one of these cards. So, living with a feathered heart. Let's see what we get. I praise the goddess and the god. And I'm just going to leave this here. Well, actually, I'm going to look at it myself here. So, and this is the only card I'm going to be pulling, but I'm going to read out of the book because there's a few pages. And like I said, this is the 42 Ideals of Ma'at. And I really love the way that this book breaks it down. And doing it this way, I praise the goddess and the god. $38. So 38, 3, 8, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12, 3. So anybody resonate with 3 or 12? I praise the goddess and the god. 38. Okay. Let's see. I praise the goddess and the god. The word netter describes the gods and goddesses of Egyptian philosophy. The word itself loosely translates to force of nature. Ancient Egyptians believed that the avatars of the Hindu belief system, these forces were the living embodiments of the infinite universal lessons hidden and found within nature. Unity in nature, the all, being the highest level of understanding one could achieve. True balance is found through the reconciliation that there is a lesson within every reflection of the life experience. Light and dark, life and death, masculine and feminine, the left and right hemispheres of the brain, fear and love, every perceived pair of opposites makes up two halves of the same whole, and reconciling the space between the perception of duality allows for a balanced scale and faith in the wisdom of the all. Confidence in justice, the embodiment of Ma'at, and finding love and acceptance with the all are the never-ending story of consciousness's cycle of life, death, resurrection, and rebirth. That is what it means to honor the ideal of the goddess and the god, not as deities to worship, but rather powers to come into relationship with. It is to honor the holographic energies of nature's forces and appreciate what it means to embody both the masculine and feminine, not as a gendered modus operandi, but as a shimmering of the various qualities of nature. To carry the glow of the God represents an application of the left hemisphere of mind and the energies of science, logic, linear time, binary perception, physical strength, waking reality, and non-attachment. To live in the iridescence of the goddess represents the utility of the right hemisphere of mind and the energies of art, intuition, cyclical time, magic, ritual, dream language, the astral realm, and emotion. Finding balance in the synthesis is to live this ideal in the immersive light of truth, to find what is within through what is without, to uncover idealization without idolization. So to find like your ideal self without idolizing, understanding that all is all. So something outside of you is also within you. So someone you idolize or energies you idolize outside of you aren't outside of you, they're within you. And sometimes, when we're having heightened moments of intuition, we question ourselves. We question, is this authentically our intuition, or is this just, our crazy, basically? And if we're maintaining a conversation with ourselves through energy work, raising our vibrations through meditation. I truly think that meditation is key. I think doing your passions and being your passion is is when you're in that sacred aligned space where you're more of your harmonic self. But I also feel like even in your highest ideal self, where you are the one being idolized, potentially, where maybe you're a human on earth and you're being idolized by other people, you maintaining that perception that you are idealized. You are to be idealized, where you are being a person you admire, to rise up, to be that point that where you're just there to help because you love the all, to be that love of the all, and to love like the all, and to see in that way where you perceive, and when you're seeing where things aren't great, that's when you utilize your intuition and you listen to yourself and you have consultation with yourself. And then you be that person that you idealize. And I've learned this today of the let me, which is why I did this today, because I feel like with the situation with my bird, I know that there's not much I can do as far as, like, this has been a thing in my life, a common lesson in my life that keeps coming around, and this is just one experience that I'm kind of putting it into, and that is where I would say let them, let a person be themselves, and I'm going to be me and put energy into myself so that I can put them positive, progressive pebbles into myself to help me move forward despite what was going on, so that I wasn't fixed, so that I wasn't creating loops of energies, but I was learning the lessons of let them be them and I'm going to be me. So I was maybe already in that mental space of let me, but in not a like conscious way. It was more like I didn't have the words let me. I had the words let them. And the words are so important because it's what you're telling yourself, right? And if all you're telling yourself is let them, let them, let them, that's what's all that's all that's actually happening until finally, you know, you get a burnout of some sort if you're lucky enough to make it through your burnout. And utilize the lessons that you've learned that led to it, and not go back to the same cycles, and actually remove yourself from that track and accept that it's okay to do that. Because sometimes we literally have to give ourselves the permission to do something, and it's always like the sight of self outside of self. But then now that I'm giving this perception of idealization, and I love having just this space to be able to be myself, and it's just a really great way to have habit forming tools to say, you know, that mind that people try to a little, you know, we don't want to be our mind, but also we don't want to be stuck in our minds. And sometimes it's saying, you know, this is mine, by, you know, creating the right tools and utilizing the lessons when they come around. And for me, recently, it's to use that word today is let me, instead of just saying that, I guess, because I was even ready to tattoo that on my hand, let them. And if I do that, I got to put let me on the other hand, so I don't forget to let me, because let me be the one that I idealize. Since, you know, if I have experiences where people let me down, you know, instead of embodying aggression and going into the lower vibrations right along with them, because they're gonna find their way, their own way, but don't follow along with them, because then you're just being a part of the same problem that is giving you the problem, which is a version of insanity that you really want to do your best to try to break, because that's being the change that you wish to see in the world, which is